Okay, this is my first instructional clip, series, whatever you want to call it, which at the moment is going to be focusing on a slightly unconventional way of defending side control. It's the main way I've always used, and I find it's been effective all the way through to black belt, and I think it's something that is worth showing and sharing with people out there. So, we're going to start just a few ideas first of all. If I'm in the side control position, classical side control, the two things, particularly as you get into the higher belts, into purple, into brown, that will cause you trouble, that will stop you from ever escaping side control are somebody having a really good crossface here, because if there's really strong pressure on this side, I can't do all my conventional escapes, my head is too controlled for that. Or the person bringing their arm to the other side usually and putting their hand down on the hip, either controlling my knee or something like that, which means that again I can't start turning and I can't replace the guard, or even if he puts the hand on the ground directly next to my hip, that I haven't got space to turn in and start all my escapes from here. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to create a way to avoid both of these things happening and get myself to a position or at the same time where he cannot directly attack me. Okay? So what am I going to do? I'm going to start, presuming I've ended up in a bad position already, he's already got the crossface, things are quite bad from here. I'm going to grab hold of the cloth here, I'm going to start lifting his head a little bit as my hand here, that was on the hip, passes to the other side here. So I'm going to slightly sweep his hips upwards here as I pop his head up and I bring my head under here to tuck myself under the crossface as I spin basically to north-south. Okay? So I don't want to put my arm all the way through here because he can then wrap that arm underneath, and this puts you into a horrible position where you'll get choked, armbarred, and all kinds of bad things. So I'm keeping it here, but it's connected to his hip. So you can just turn it a little bit. So if he now tries to wrap this arm across here, I can always tuck my elbow back down here. So I don't want to push it through, so my elbow is separated from the floor. I'm just connecting to him. If I feel him try to wrap it, I will just drop inside here. Right. So, regular position here. My hand here comes underneath to there. I pop his head up a bit. I don't push away. I don't try and lift too much here. I just grab the cloth and I pop some space here, and I start to turn underneath here. He's going to keep some pressure. It's going to be quite tight. It's not the easiest movement, but again, I will start coming around here. As I arrive here, he will often try to put his hand down on my hip to stop me moving any further here. It's on the floor next to my hip from here to make things harder. And if I stay here with this arm loose here, he will start working to attack it straight away from here. So as soon as I arrive here, again, I'm now in the position I want to be. This hand here is going to grab hold of the belt here, and I'm going to just tuck my elbow down here. I'm not grabbing over the back here where my arm is too exposed. I'm grabbing on the side and tucking my elbow to the side of his shoulder here. I will keep spinning underneath to north-south here. Okay? What this is going to mean now is it's very hard for him to turn me on my side because, again, all my weight is on this side and I'm flat. If I start a tiny bit more to here, then he'll turn me the rest of the way. But if I have downwards pressure already here, and my shoulders are both very heavy, it's very hard for him to start turning me from here. Okay? Now, next thing. I've dealt with the crossface, which is what's stopping me from turning in. But now this hand is still blocking me. If this hand is anywhere in between, any kind of big turn, there's no way to get a hand through here, and I'm going to get my hips blocked from here. Okay? Just going to move back in a little bit this way. Okay, so I'm underneath, I have my position, and my hand is here. It can be a bit deeper through, or it can be playing just behind his arm. My aim is for this hand here to be behind his bicep. I'm just going to spin a little bit here, all the way around. Yeah. So I have my control here. I want this grip behind here. Once I have this behind it, I can start working his arm forward. It's kind of like an omoplata in that sense, because now it becomes very hard for him to keep this arm from bending and being pushed away. As long as his elbow is down on this side here, then I have to work a bit. I have to move it around, I have to turn, and I have to push it away here. Once I have this raised, my knee will replace here, and I will grab here. This A brings his weight forward a little bit, and B, it now means that his hand is no longer blocking my hip here. If it's already tight here, I may have to spin a bit more. It's going to look a bit stupid, but I'm going to come around until I get the position, and there's my pressure from here. Okay? Now that I have this here, I now need to take this arm that is still holding the belt here. I'm going to circle it in front of the face, and I'm just going to bring it out into his armpit here. Once this is here, I know I can turn because there's nothing stopping me turning anymore. My head is too deep underneath for him to cross-face me again, and this isn't blocking my hip anymore. So I'm going to kick away a bit. This hand can come through to the armpit or directly to the hip. It doesn't really matter. and I'm going to kick up and turn. As I turn to my knees, I'll come up into my single, and I have my single leg here. Again, preferably with the head to the inside to avoid bad things happening and getting guillotined. From here, again, you can try and finish it if you want to. I generally will just sit down again, bring this through, hook this over, and we're back into half. You can score a nice sweep from there and score 2 straight away because it's a sweep rather than a reversal, or various other things from there. So, one more time. So I'm here, I'm underneath side control. He has the crossface in a crosshair. If he skips the crossface and goes directly to the other side, then that just makes things easier. I just switch the hand and I start walking out. If the crossface is still in, well, I grab again here. I don't overcommit, I don't want my arm to be in danger. My hand that was here spins underneath. Here, I pop up a little bit, I step out, and I just stop flat walking this way. Come on. Again, turn, 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 and turn it. As soon as I feel I'm underneath the arm, my arm here tucks, and I'm behind this arm, and I'm on here, if possible. Again, this arm here may take longer. I don't want to rush it, I don't want to give him too much. So if he does keep his hand quite close to my hip, then I'm just going to keep turning until I can get inside of here. Push. It's there. Kick up a little. This hand circles. Comes through from here. And I turn to my single. Sit back. Step over. Sit up. And come on top. 4. 2 points. And maybe 3 for the pass.